Yeah, man, we finna get into this Lil Zale summer shit. This man, got arrested for burglary. And man, we finna get into it. Let's go.
Over after a superseding indictment was just unsealed. A federal grand jury in Chicago has indicted 7 men on robbery and kidnapping offenses for allegedly participating in a violent home invasion in Winnetka, Illinois last month. Winnetka is one of the most expensive suburbs in the Chicago area, with many luxury homes showing a median price of $2 million, with the most famous being the Home Alone house from the 1990s classic.
Oh yeah?
Roughly 20 miles from downtown Chicago, this wasn't the type of area you'd see Chirac drill rappers sticking someone up. But as we all know,
I ain't
you
never
can never
known
be
that.
surprised.
I thought all the
when
Home
it comes
Alones
to
was in New
Chicago.
York, Chad.
U.S. attorneys received search warrants within 12 days of the home invasion, but kept them under seal while continuing to obtain evidence to identify and arrest additional defendants involved in the violent incident. The superseding indictment charges 24-year-old Deshaun Brown, 24-year-old David Franklin, 22-year-old Anthony Ramsey, 28-year-old Isaiah Dukes, 30-year-old Keel Dukes, and 23-year-old Jalen Chambers with conspiracy to commit robbery and kidnapping in connection with the home invasion that took place March 8th. The 7th defendant has not yet been filed into the paperwork as he was just arrested. Now everyone knows Isaiah Dukes is none other than Chicago rapper Lil Zale Son.
Yeah.
And Keel Dukes, aka Big Folks, would be Zay's older brother. Anthony Ramsey, aka Lil Ant, is also said to be related to the brothers. No stranger to law enforcement, Zay was indicted by the feds after leaving a Glock with a switch inside of an Uber in New York City. He'd controversially be sentenced to only 14 months in federal prison and would be released in late 2024. Now obviously, 14 months for a switch is nothing and made plenty of people start to wonder, but after carefully looking through his federal paperwork, I figured out his low sentence was literally just due to having a great lawyer, Don Florio. But this case, this is gonna need a fucking miracle. According to the indictment, Franklin and Big Folks communicated through phones about using a stolen vehicle to commit robbery. The next day, Brown then drove Franklin, Chambers, and 2 others in a stolen vehicle to a home belonging to 2 victims, named in the indictment only as Victim A and Victim B. While on the way to the home, Chambers communicated with Zay to discuss the plan for the robbery. Once outside the home, Brown walked up posing as a food delivery driver to cause an individual within the home to open the front door. Armed with loaded weapons,
he like, all right, look, this is what we gonna do, all right? Look, we're gonna disguise as delivery drivers, all right? All right? Folks, shut the fuck up, man. I'm trying to explain, nigga. You sitting up there talking and shit. I'm trying to explain how we gonna do this shit. All right, look, we're gonna go up in the house. Folks says, go up in there first. So we're gonna, check the scene out when you open the door. All right, then that's when we do that shit.
Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and 2 others forced their way inside. They'd all pull guns, attempting to rob Victim A for his crypto. But the paperwork doesn't clarify if Victim A was actually home, only that he was the one they intended to rob. Instead, they physically restrained Victim B, keeping him captive while aiming guns at him. They demanded he give them access to the safe, computer, and any online accounts holding crypto. While inside the home, Chambers would again call Zay, who provided instructions regarding the information needed from Victim B to obtain the crypto. Big Folks would also receive a call by one of the conspirators inside the home as the attempted robbery took place. All of the men then fled the scene, meeting up with Zay, Big Folks, and Lil Ant, who according to the paperwork searched them to make sure everything they took was collected. Apparently they made off with $111,300. Split 7 ways, that's roughly $16,000 per person. The only problem with that is a federal trial lawyer can cost anywhere from $100 to $500 fucking thousand if you plan on taking it all the way. This paperwork is clearly alleging Zay sent some crash dummies to rob a crypto kid who they probably thought had millions that could easily be transferred without a trace. And that sounds good until you find out the feds have every text, call, and GPS location from every cell phone present. They know who made calls from inside the home during the time of the robbery. They know who texted what. They have the entire timeline of how this was planned and executed. And for kidnapping, all of these men face up to life in federal prison. For interference with commerce by threat.
Damn, they see, nigga, all you had one simple job, nigga. A simple job. Nigga, damn. You wanna fuck up. Shit. All you had to do, just rap and stay out of fucking trouble. That's it. But nah, your ass wanna be a crash shot. Bruh.
The violence up to 20 years. So mathematically speaking, all 7 of them were willing to risk life plus 20 for $16,000 apiece. Now, the biggest factor in this case is going to be the victim cooperating, which obviously he already is. Otherwise, no one would have known a home invasion took place. But if he is able to identify anyone, if he's had any previous relationships with anyone tied to Zay or Zay himself, that kind of information is the nail in the coffin. Some way, somehow, someone knew they had a shitload of crypto, most likely in the millions,
yeah, they knew.
And they came for it all. But here we are again, for the second time this year, speaking on a rapper who crashed out in a robbery turned kidnapping. The major difference between Zay and Pooh Shiesty is it would seem Zay was directing orders over the phone while Pooh pulled out the damn Draco. The feds are going to have to prove Zay was actually directing this on how it needs to go down, and that means the feds are going to do their best to get one of the 6 other men to fold, cooperate, and reveal it all. Now, I can imagine this whole scheme sounded great as they were thinking of it, right? Oh, we got this kid, he does crypto, da-da-da. Mind you, this kid probably does his little scams, whatever.
Bro.
They're thinking we're just gonna rob him, he's not gonna say nothing, everything's gonna be good. This kid might be involved in some illegal shit of his own. Fuck that. This kid gets robbed, fully calls 911, whatever he has to do to report this situation. Otherwise, they never would have found out.
Hey, nigga, he ain't give a fuck shit. If he was doing some underhand illegal shit, nigga, they robbed me. Fuck y'all.
And I don't think
both going
they
down.
understand how fucked they are in a situation like this. This is a Fed case.
Yeah,
and
that shit
already
crazy.
the feds are revealing they know who went where. Because your cell phone is a GPS tracker.
Yeah, showing it.
They know who was talking to who at what times. They know when the robbery initiated. They know when the robbery ended based off of when they went in the home and when they left the home. How do we know that Brown was posing as a food delivery, whatever, or Uber Eats? 9 times out of 9, that came from the kid that they robbed. I opened the door, I thought it was Uber Eats, that's what he said, and then everyone pulled out fucking guns asking me for my Bitcoin.
Bro.
Sounds like this kid is fully cooperating. Like I said, if this kid knows who Zay is, if they've had any interactions, which is how they were able to obtain the information that this kid has mad crypto, they might be fucked in this case.
Hey, done.
Otherwise,
he ain't getting out of this.
Able to afford the best lawyer, as the rappers always do. His lawyer is gonna try to pick this shit apart.
Hey, you think he afford this shit after he done tried to rob a motherfucker? Shit, think about it. I don't think he could, man. This nigga trying to rob somebody. He trying to get some money. What the hell? I don't know, man.
The phone calls claiming Zay was instructing them on how to do this and that, whatever. Cause I mean, to be fair, right? If you call my phone and you're like, yo, how do I like send crypto? And I'm like, oh, you just need this and that, and you do this and that, da-da-da, and that's it. And they hang up. I don't know if they're in the middle of a fucking robbery.
All right.
I don't know what they're doing. They just called me and asked me about some damn crypto. But in that sense, you would kind of have to admit to having that conversation. Zay's lawyer, I'm sure, is going to be able to figure this out. And to be honest with you, as much money as they be dropping on jewelry and everything
All
else,
that.
it's hard to imagine.
He better have it, goddamn.
I can imagine the other guys being broke as fuck, but not Zay. Zay lives out in LA.
So why he doing it?
In Chicago. He's been escaped Chicago. So it's like, why would he need to even be involved in this situation? The whole Pooh Shiesty and Gucci thing, it wasn't about the money, it was about the contract.
Right.
Which technically made it about the money. But he's took all that other shit just to add disrespect to the situation. Versus in this situation, what the fuck are they,
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Like 10, 15 million in crypto?
What the
and
fuck?
Just bust that shit down with the homies and nobody was gonna figure nothing out and that kid wasn't gonna say nothing about it. Like, these crypto kids love getting next to the rappers and love acting like they're doing this crazy shit. Like, there's a lot of kids that come from money and then figure out a way to turn their parents' money into their own money, but they want to like sell drugs and shit just to feel like they're living that lifestyle, as if they made it and they can relate to the rappers, and then they get around the rappers just to get robbed by the rappers. So
Goofy.
The major thing in this,
goofies.
we're barely seeing any information. Everything that I gave you in this video is the subtle layout that the feds have given. More paperwork is gonna drop. We might get pictures, surveillance, we don't know what the fuck we're gonna get. But there's gonna be a lot more shit that's gonna come out. I'm gonna keep y'all updated and in tune about the situation. We're gonna see how bad it is. I'm not gonna say anything sounds good though, because anytime the feds indict you,
Chad, it's not good.
Essentially looking at.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not good.
Have we really seen walk away without getting time from the feds? How many people haven't had to sit down for months, if not over a year, fighting a Fed case? This is gonna put him away for a little bit. Definitely the other people he was with. And like I said, if they're all broke as fuck and the feds are like, hey, you're facing life plus 20. We don't even want to give you 30 years. Best we can do is like 20, and you at least get to like go home at some point and not die in the feds.
Man,
you need to cooperate. It's pretty fucking likely someone's gonna take that.
Cooperate, motherfucker.
That's just what it is. And everyone knows this when they get into these situations, but it's kind of like a gambling addiction, right?
It is what it is, man.
You know there's a chance you could get away, and if you get away, you know you could get away with possibly millions. In this case, it was only 111,000. That really ain't shit. Cause 7 ways
that ain't
16 a piece.
That really ain't.
That ain't nothing. That's bill money if you got money. You know what I mean? But
that's probably what he wanted to rob him for, because he needed some bills.
I'll keep y'all updated.
He needed his bills paid.
I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
Man, that's why he did that, man, so he can get his bills paid. Cause how else, man? 16,000, you robbing a nigga for 16, basically, cause y'all splitting that shit. Oh, bro. Man,